Hey guys, what's going on? Everything working? Can you guys hear me? We are back today at Bear's Workshop to do another flyover live stream of the Lucid site in Casa Grande, Arizona. So let me know who's on. Let me know if my audio sounds good. I put a poll up there. So want to know what you guys think. So go ahead and go to that poll and let me know what you think if Lucid, when they announce their deliveries on the 21st, what's going to be less than 250 or is it going to be more? I'm starting to have interesting concerns. There are things that I can't figure out, and we're going to talk about that when we go through the video. And it has to do with the wheels that I'm seeing, and definitely want to get you guys' input. And maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. So let's see, we're getting a bunch of hey bears, getting a bunch of hellos. We got 12 likes, but we got 19 people on, or 22 people on. So I think we can correct that, please, if we can get as many likes as we can. Oklahoma checking in. Let's see. Ooh, sea sunrise from west. More than 600. Yeah, I'm real confused on this. And I'll tell you guys in a couple minutes. I just want to give other people time to get on. I'll tell you where my confusion is, and maybe you guys can straighten me out. Webcam move a little inside the frame. Let's see. Okay, I see what that person's talking about. Let me see what I can do about that. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing or not, but I got to adjust my frame. My frame is a little bit off. But everyone's got to notice the little things. So who else do we have? Come on here. Let's see. More than 500 produced but not delivered. And there goes my face. Okay. There we go. We're going to get this moved. There we go. Get everything tucked in there nice and neat. Much better. Much better. 458 delivered. That's an interesting number. All right. We're going to start the video. And when we get to the view of the cars, we're going to take a look at those wheels. And you guys maybe straighten me out because maybe I'm looking at something wrong here. But here we go. Get the video playing. There's my beautiful logo. I love that logo. I think that's awesome, the way the bear claws go through that. Care, oh, hello. Says, hi, Bear. Thank you for your continuous Lucid coverage. Well, you're welcome. It's our pleasure to do this. We enjoy doing it. But at the same time, we'd like to get our costs offset if you guys can help us out anytime. You can see we started off on the south side. I'm going to pause it right there. And you can see this building is going up a little bit differently than the rest of the site. Because this building is smaller, it's possible to get a crane in here and just lift in the steel beams. So it looks like right here, they're putting in the aggregate that is needed before they pour the foundation. The foundation looks like it's going to be poured before the steel goes up. And over here you can see it's also getting some work done on these two sections. So that is the base is getting done there. Now on the opposite side, everywhere else they're not doing it that way. The reason for that is because you need a much larger crane to reach areas, because you can't drive the crane on the concrete. They're just too heavy. So they have to put the steel up first, and that's why the concrete goes in second. And if you notice right here where my mouse is, they're getting some deliveries of steel. That truck just dropped off some steel right here. That forklift just pulled it off and placed it over there. So they are getting their steel coming in, and it's all getting staged up. You can see all the steel that's down here. I got so much steel lying around here. So much. So here's where the structure is at. It's getting pretty close to that south end. See all the steel in the front over here. you've got more steel just stacked up waiting to be installed. So they got plenty of steel, and that's great that they've got everything uh, set up. iMelt says 458 is very exact. Uh, unless Mike is saying that he is number 458. What are you saying, Mike? We're just kind of curious. Hey, John McGuire's here. Hey, Bear, might not be able to stay long, but just a quick FYI, the piping along the roadway is a city project to underground the drainage in preparation for the road widening to begin soon. Oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. So the road out front has to be widened. I think it's, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that part of the deal that road needed to be widened for Lucid to come down to that area? Maybe not part of the deal, but it was part of the plans to widen that road over there because of the traffic that's going to be coming in and out. John is works for the town or the city, correct me if I'm wrong, of Casa Grande, and has a lot of inside knowledge on certain things like that. Rob H says 420 delivered. Okay. I bet Elon Musk picked that number, didn't he? Let's see. Lucid Daily, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. And he says, thank you, Bear. Let's see. My poll is in the way. I can't even see what's going on. Go to the other screen. Like who says, looks like they've done a lot of work done after the second contractor got brought in. Well, I think the second contractor is for the steel, which is actually not coming up. Mike is saying number 458 delivered to Las Vegas customer. Okay. That's interesting. See, and we're going to get to this in a couple minutes about where that delivery number actually is, because I'm really scratching my head on this. All right, we're going to keep moving along on the construction. Oh, I'm sorry. John's not an employee, just very knowledgeable. John runs I think you're the admin of the Facebook site, aren't you? For the people that live in Casa Grande, but apparently not an official site. But yes, he's very knowledgeable. He's not bragging. He really is. Okay, so on the north end here, we can see all of the rubber membrane has been put up on the roof in preparation to lay that out. That's just part of the roof structure to get it dried in. And that is very typical of this type of construction. And I know I've mentioned this before. I'm going to mention it again. Ordering supplies like the rubber membrane takes about a year to come in right now with all the supply problems that are happening around the world. If you order those today, I think it's 56 weeks. So that's kind of crazy, but it's great that they already have it and nobody waited till the last minute to order something like that. Okay, and as we zoom out, we can see just how big this structure is. And honestly, what's got steel in that square footage is probably more than the other buildings already, or very close to it. Definitely some great fast progress. Another Michael is asking Mike, when was number 458 delivered? Can you explain? And then he asked, did they at least produce 420 on 2021? That is a really good question. There's a good shot of that building on the south, which is still haven't been able to get the site plans. But you can see how smooth that is. That's going to be ready to get concrete real soon. And you can see the Bobcat moving around, and they're raking out that dirt because they're going to smooth all that out. I'll put another layer of aggregate on that. It'll probably look the same color as the first section. And then they'll continue all the way to the south. It looks like they've got most of the perimeter grade beams in. And we'll notice later in the video that areas of where the steel is being put up also has the perimeter grade beam going in. There you can see the forklift moving around some of that steel that was taken off of that semi and just being stacked for later use. And here we're taking a look on the far southwest. That's a fuel truck leaving right there. They bring in fuel for the cranes, for the generators, and for the other equipment that can't just run down to the gas station. Things like the earth movers, the graders, things like that. They have to have fuel trucks come in and fill them up, like that truck right there. That's probably broken because it has a maintenance truck next to it. But that truck right there would get filled up by a fuel truck like that that's brought in. It's a lot of logistics that are involved in things like this. Okay, so right here, we see a crazy amount. Let me back up just a little bit. Crazy amount of air conditioning units. These are all going on the top. You can see them on top of the existing buildings, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those right there. Those are some pretty massive units. Probably another 8 on the other side. Looks like another 3 back there at least. So might be 19. Oh, there's one right there in the middle. Looks like there's 20 of those units there. That's why that crane is there, is to get them off the trucks, because they're very, very heavy units. You need a big crane to take them off. As we pan across, you can see all the other materials that are stacking up, that are getting ready to be installed. Some piping, looks like some more different types of beams. We've also got the storage containers, which they'll put all their construction equipment in. We've got man lifts. We've got a little workshop right here under that upside down U. People working there. There's a couple graders up there. That's the employee parking lot was up top. That's where we were just looking. That's how good that zoom camera is. Let's see. And then on the east side, we can see more materials stacking up. And I was kind of looking at this. I had zoomed in. This is all roofing material right here. But these and these right here appear to be something different, because they're much longer. They're not, the 4 or 5 feet by whatever it is. So it definitely is different material. Trying to figure out what that might be. It could be the wall panels that will go up around the side. I wouldn't expect those to go up until like they're pouring concrete, but it is still possible that those are wall panels. Either that or they could be pipes just wrapped up, because sometimes piping will look like that when they're all wrapped up in bundles. But my first guess is going to be wall panels. Though, like I said, it does seem a little soon. Hey, there's the pipes that John's talking about right there. These are the pipes for widening that road right there. So, good call on that, John. Thanks for letting us know about that. All right, going across, we see the employee parking lot. We still see the solar panels just in those first 2 sections. Still don't know whether or not they're going to be extending that all the way out. Plenty of cars in the parking lot. Lots of people working today. And then there's a nice, bright and shiny new parking lot. And obviously they are not using that yet. Don't know why, but it probably is just not needed yet. Let's see. 4Q asks, what is the distance between the poles? Are you talking about the columns in the factory, of the main columns? If I had to guess, it's probably about 50 feet. We can't get close enough to do a good aerial measurement. So hard for me to say. If we ever get the plans, it might say in there what the distance is, but it's probably around 50 feet is my first guess, though it could be more. Really don't have anything to measure it against. There's a real good close-up of all the supplies and materials, all the steel that's being stacked up. And the cranes are actively working today. It looked like they may have slowed down a little bit for the last couple of days with the wind. I know that the building's getting extended, but I don't think that they can work in when the wind speeds are too high in certain times. Like woohoo, woha, woo, like who, eh? I don't know. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. By the way, great interview with Financial Journey and Lucidverse. If you guys didn't see it yet, I went on Financial Journey's YouTube channel on Sunday morning and did an interview. We recast it on our channel here. So if you guys get a chance and you want to take a look at it, we talked for like an hour and 15 minutes about Lucid, mostly Lucid. A little bit of other stuff, but mostly Lucid. So it was a good conversation. So you guys want to check that out when you get a chance. Here we're coming up to the cars and how many we had today. Let's see here. Zooming in. We actually get in and then we pull back out a lot of the times to get a better view. We have to zoom from further away because we want to get only the optical zoom. So we're actually a lot further from the road than it looks. But as we're zooming in here, I'll give you guys a car count. We're going to stop it right there. Maybe we'll go back just a little bit. And let me bring up my notes that I have on this. We've got a total of 120 cars. This section right here is there's 34. So that's an addition of about 4 cars over here. In this center area right here, we've got 18 cars. And then we have 16 cars down here, including below the little slide bar. This section right here is also increased. There's 36 cars in here right now, which is an increase of 10. I think one or two cars were added in here, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but we've got 2 cars at the charging station. Those 2 are new, and then this one was there yesterday when we stopped by, and there's 1 additional car down here. Up here, we have 16 cars, including 2 that you cannot see. They're hidden behind the car wash right over here. There's 2 black ones. They were there yesterday. They're there today. On Monday, there was a black and a white one. Probably that white GT, and we think that this is the white GT over here that we constantly see. This one actually has a license plate on it. We were able to zoom in and see that it had a plate on it. So that's why we think that's the white GT that we see running around all the time. All right, let's continue with that. So total car count was 120. And if you got Twitter, I just tweeted that out if you want to see the picture with the actual numbers on them. And these cars do appear to be different than what we saw, I believe, yesterday, because they were parked a little bit differently. Let me bring that up on my other screen so I can make a good comparison if I can. Sometimes it's real hard to see, but it does look like there were different cars. Here we are zooming in. We can see that car below had the Dream Aereo wheels, and that's where I've got questions. And you can see that this car, the white GT, has the plates on it right there. And let's see here. We're going to pause this for a second just to answer some or address some comments. Don says, love your updates, Bear. We're seeing progress. Lucid is being very quiet, as I would be with the pending SEC investigation. Peter and staff will come out unscathed. I believe you're correct on that. I believe they're quiet because sometimes it's just better to be quiet. You don't want to pull a Trevor Milton and just start having diarrhea of the mouth and saying things that just get you in trouble. And I really don't think there's anything behind what they're saying as far as with the SEC investigation. What is the next building be built for? Depending on which building. I know the one that they're working on is a warehouse. There's going to be a body in white. There's going to be extending the stamping building. That's going to be on the north side. Then there's other general assembly areas. And let's see, John McGuire again says, also remember one other thing as far as people. There are now 2 additional buildings in Casa Grande with Lucid activity until this work is complete. I got to go, but good work. Oh, he just left me there with a big tease saying that there's 2 additional buildings in Casa Grande. We know of one, but we're going to have to figure out where that second one is. Thanks for that info, John. If anybody knows where that additional building is, let us know. And we will take a look and see what's going on. I think I ate a fly or a wasp or something. All right. So there's a Tractor Supply on the right side. We're headed over to go into our little corner where we can zoom in on the other side of the site. Adele says, I just can't decide if I should load up more shares now or wait to see if it drops at earnings. What do you think? Currently holding 300 strong for at least 5 years. What do you say? I do not give financial advice, so I am here for entertainment purposes only, and I have to say that. And I tend to always pick wrong. Maybe it's one of those things where whatever your gut's telling you, do the opposite. I heard that's how you win in the stock market. What charging station charges Lucid? Electrify America will work for a Lucid. And I believe that there's others, but I know that they have an agreement with Electrify America. I believe if you buy a car, you're getting 3 years until 3 years of free supercharging. All right, so here we are. We're going to zoom in on these cars on the top. We wanted to take a look at those wheels. Some of those cars were just put there within the last day or two, and some of the cars have been there for a little bit. Let's see here. So I don't know if you guys can see this in the video, but this is an Aero Dream Wheel, and some of these other ones are not. Let's go a little further and see if we only were able to zoom in with the, let's see here. All right. So we took a picture earlier, and some of these are the aerial light wheels. But my problem here is what's confusing me is I have seen so many Lucid Airs come and go from this parking lot since they started making them in early October that it really seems like they had produced well over 500 just with the amount of cars that we were seeing there and then gone, and then more cars there and then gone. So to me, it looked like they were on track to produce 1,000 cars. But you've got the Aero Dream Wheels, which are on these cars right here. And those cars were just added to this line, this parking spot, just in the last week? No, last couple of days. They have the Aero Dream Wheels, and those are exclusive to the Dream Edition. So how am I so far off on this count? Because if they've literally produced Dream Editions in the last couple of days, it either tells me that I'm looking at other cars, that they are playing musical car chairs or musical cars and just moving them around. Because how can we still be coming out with Dream Editions? I see some of the aerial light wheels, which is also available on the Dream Edition. But have anybody got a clue why we still see cars coming out when we know, or we've seen more than 500 cars come out of the factory? How are they still having Dream Edition wheels if they haven't finished the Dream Edition, the 520? I have one theory. I think it's a conspiracy theory, is that all the people who said that they wanted to get a Dream Edition, got on the waiting list, are actually still going to get them. And I can't explain the numbers and why we see 458 is going to be delivered this week. No explanation for that. But I think some of the people who might have been on the waiting list, maybe they're actually going to get Dream Editions, and they extended the run of it instead of 520. Maybe they're filling the orders for everybody who wanted one. Because I don't understand how they're still putting out Dream Edition cars, or at least those are the Dream wheels exclusive to the Dream Edition. So cars that came out of that factory in the last couple of days are Dream Editions. And we're well into February. So that's why I tend to think that if they're sticking to the 520, that they delivered less than 250, maybe even less than that. But I'm real confused because I really think that we've counted well over 500 cars coming out of this factory last year. So what do you guys think? Like who, you know what? That was a discussion I had this morning. Maybe they're making them for the Saudis, and they're being shipped over on a boat, and they're just taking a long time to get over there. And even to dig deeper into a conspiracy theory, maybe they've told these people they can have Dream Editions, but they can't put anything on social media. But I think that is probably way overboard. Let's see. 4Q asked what drone do we use. This is a Mavic 3. It's got the really good zoom on it, as you can see. And I thank everybody who contributed to helping us purchase that. If you'd like to still contribute, you still can. That drone was $4,500. You could take a look at our link to our GoFundMe site in the description below. Rob H. says, I saw Lucid posted 27 job openings for second shift. Any guess as to how many vehicles a staff that size could produce on that shift? Well, I think it's more than 27. I think they've got a lot of positions filled. I don't know how many people they have running on each shift, but they do have a second shift already. So that's just probably to ramp up and get more people in there. And like who says, I believe Charge Point. That's possible. When PCH shows up with me, check with my check, I'm all in. Publishers Clearinghouse. All right. How many shifts are they working? I believe they're at 2. Is it possible to have a Grand Touring Edition but add custom wheels which come on the Dream Edition? Maybe that's why. The thing is, on the Lucid site for the Dream Edition, for those Dream Aerial wheels, it says that it is exclusive to the Aerial Dream wheels, and that's what we're seeing is the Dream wheels. Lucidelli, I'm on the website right now, and I see you can configure GT with 20-inch Aerial Light wheels as well. Okay, well that would explain the Aerial Light wheels, but why do we still have Aerial Dream wheels coming out? They should have ordered 520 sets, and that should have been it. So, any ideas? I'm open to hear it. I really want to know what you guys' thoughts on this, because I'm really scratching my head how Dream Editions are still coming out when I really feel like we've already seen more than 500 Dream Editions. So as we're returning here, we'll pause it real quick. These are some of the other cars, the ones under the gray covers. I'm not sure what's up with the gray covers. I don't know if there's any difference, anything to signify anything at all. Here's the 2 black Lucid Airs that are right here. And they were sitting there yesterday also. So we count those in our car count because you cannot see them from the front. So if you want to manually count yourself, don't forget the 2 hidden. Here's a car wash station. Don't see any cars in there right now. Yep, pretty empty. Anybody else getting on that website and see how there's a way to configure a GT with Area Dream wheels, let me know. All right, so we are in the far corner of Tractor Supply, zooming in. Just getting a look, you can see that they've got forklifts still bringing up the forklifts and cranes bringing the rubber membrane up onto the roof. We can see that there's more progress on the roof decking right there. Those guys are actively working on it. You can see that glare. It's because they're laying a panel down right as we watch them. Look at that. Another piece installed just like that. See all the man lifts in there? That's all the steel workers working up top, bolting things in. In some cases, they're welding some stuff. But all those ones that are up have people on top getting the work done. And you can see more over here with the crane. Looks like that crane has just put in a couple pieces of steel, and those guys are on the man lift bolting them in. So another shot zoomed out a little bit. They got that pond there. That's for to keep dust under control, watering down the areas constantly. Well, let's see. Oh, we got about 118 people on right now. That's pretty good. We only have 50 likes. So, hey guys, how about everybody hit that like button? Help spread the Lucid cheer so that everybody knows what's going on. I'll give you 30 seconds, and then I want to see that at 100. Let's see. Let's see. Octavio says, yes, they seem like they're making more than 520 Dream Editions. Let's see. Scrolling back a little bit, my chat session wasn't moving. Let's see. They have to make some GTs for the showrooms. Maybe they did make some GTs for the showroom last year. That is possible. It's not out of the question either. We weren't able to see the rims until late last year, until we got the Zoom drone, because we were so far away we couldn't tell what we were looking at except that it was a car. Let's see. Jordan says, makes sense to sell as many Dream Editions as they can, more profit. The only problem with that is if they are committing to making 420 of a car and then numbering them, kind of puts them in a little bit of a spot, because someone could say, well, I thought this was going to be a collector's item, only going to make 520, and then you made 1,000. So is my car worth less because of that? Just an idea. Possibly the extra Dream Editions are going overseas. It's one of the thoughts. Star Wars says, I'm a bull on Lucid and have a very large position, but I'm afraid I do not think they delivered 520 in quarter four. I do not believe that they delivered 520 in quarter four. I'd like to wish that they did, but I'm just not seeing that. Let's see, Cloudwalker, they probably will announce Dream Edition has been extended and will deliver 1,000 or so. Yeah, and that's my theory. Because I can't see any other reason why we're still seeing Dream Editions coming out when I really feel like we've seen more than 500 cars done, and the Dream Editions were all supposed to be first. See, I know about 10 plus people whose Grand Touring reservation was converted to Dream. I believe it's possible that your theory is right. All right, well, you're going to, let's just say this. You heard it here first. Lucid is making more than 520 Dream Editions. And Titan says maybe they'll deliver 1,111 Dream Editions. Yes, that number 1111 comes up a couple of times, hasn't it? Don says maybe they had extra wheels and they're putting them on the GTs. Yeah, but if it's not what you ordered, they would have to get permission from the customers. Do you want these? The lower known number 520 delivered in January is 70s. Yeah, that's pretty low. And this is our Patreon people right there. I want to thank all my patrons again. Let's go back to them real quick. These are the people who help supporting the channel. It helps to pay for our time, our fuel, even though it's electric, but it still costs us time, money, tires, whatever you want to call it. And that drone is pretty expensive. So I want to thank all my patrons for the support. I'm going to just rewind this as we keep chatting. Maybe we'll see some other things and keep chatting as long as you guys want to. We got to 75 likes. So right now that's telling me there is about 33 people or so that are not hitting that like button. Maybe you guys all hit the dislike, and I'll find out after I log on because I can't see the dislikes. Love that feature. Let's see. Elon looking like Elton John. Yeah, okay. Those gray covered ones, could it be for demos so they don't mistake them? Well, it's possible, but I imagine that they know which cars are which, however they track them. Yes, those workers do look like ants. We're actually not very high here. We're probably about 250 feet where we are right now. Alexei says to Titan, I don't think so. The initial number was 500, but has been increased to 520 to celebrate the 520 EPA. Now, Alexei has often said that he thinks that the deliveries are going to be around 150. Is that right, Alexei? You said something like that? Let's see, Cloudwalk. Does someone know if customers can pick up their air right at AMP? No, I don't believe that you can do that. Most places do not let you pick up stuff directly from the factory. So I don't think that they would do that. Let's see, they have produced Dream Edition for Saudi? ? Peter said that he will bring over DE in summer last year's conference in Saudi. Maxwell says to Lucid Daily, the Aerial Light 20s aren't available till Q2. So if you see Aerial Light, they're not GTs. Okay. El Kahuna Grande, I think I said that right, says maybe the first 520 numbered. Any dreams after that may not be due to the collector issue stated above. Let's see, we're still scrolling through these. And I think Peter was answering the question about picking up your vehicle at the AMP site, and his guess is no, because of safety and security. Yeah, Lucid is very tight on security. They won't even let you in the factory if you went down there, so I'm not sure why people would want to. Let's see. Rob asked, Bear, can you tell if the wheels are 21s or 19s on the various cars? Really can't tell. I was looking at that, and it's just too difficult to tell. When we zoom in, we can still make out the pattern that's on the wheel. It starts to get blurry, but to be able to tell a 2-inch difference, we really can't do it. 520 plus, why not? No dislike feature sucks. I like seeing videos get ratioed. Yeah, I do too. You know why the no dislike sucks? Because every time I go to a how-to video, I want to know if the how-to video is a good video. I could start following a video along that's got 50,000 views and find out that the guy was, a moron, and he's telling you the worst way to do something. Unless I start going through all the comments and reading those, it's still, if it's got a lot of views, it's going to pop up first. I want to go to a how-to video that has like a 99% ratio. I don't want to go to one that's 50-50. So you can get bad videos, or the author of the video just removes all the negative comments. So you could think you're getting the best thing ever. So yeah, I would really like to see the dislikes come back. Alexi says yes, he believes in regards to the, he believes that we're going to be like around 150 for deliveries. Liked and subscribed for almost a year now. Thank you, Sergey. And Telmo, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. That's a nice super chat. Big D is here, and he says hi. I'm assuming Big D is a he because it's Big D. Doesn't seem right for a girl to have that name. So let's see. They definitely shipped out at least 2 cars to Saudi, in your opinion. Yeah. And I imagine getting there by boat's going to take a while if they did that. Rob H, did you used to get a lot of dislikes? No. We used to, and we can still see them when we go into our analytics. We can still see how many dislikes a video has, but I want people to be able to see how many dislikes to likes it has. I think it's important to know what you're looking at. But we rarely got more than 10 on a video. Some of my older videos have more than 10, but they also have like 1,000 likes. And so it's not like horrible to have 50 dislikes on something like that when you have 1,000 likes. So things like that aren't uncommon. Press the like button, and we have 92 likes on 117 viewers. You guys are getting there, but there's 25 of you that have not hit that like button. Alexi says less than 100, at least 70, 20 plus have been delivered on day one. Let's see. Imel says no in regards to me getting a lot of dislikes. He says, nope, Bear's videos are excellent. Thank you, Imelt. Peter says, I wonder if they're going to build a terrain for final testing. Do you mean like a test track, Peter? Because I don't see anything on the plans for a test track. They have a tiny one. And then when I say tiny, I mean it's really small. And they just have different types of pavement. They have like cobblestones, bricks, and different things to drive over. But it's really not that big. 4Q says the Saudis are rich enough to fly them there. They are. The only problem with that is that they'd be there. And for you to fly your car in and then not be able to drive it, because if these cars are there, these people are going to be driving it and someone's going to post it. We've got a lot of followers on Twitter from Saudi Arabia. And I believe we do on YouTube also. And nobody's commented that they've seen one in Saudi Arabia. Big D says D is for Dave. Definitely guy's name. Let's see. I know GM had a proving ground in Arizona. Not sure if they still do. GM did. They had the GM proving grounds. And hold on. The GM proving grounds. Oh, I might need a new drink soon. This one's getting low. My throat's a bit scratchy today. GM Proving Grounds used to be located probably about 6 miles from my place. And they sold that and they moved to Yuma. So they have the Yuma Proving Grounds, and that's where they do some testing. The proving grounds that they sold was in a really good area as far as growth. So when they sold it, it's becoming all housing and different communities. It's right down it's like a half a mile from where Electromechanic is building their site. Apple's building a call center or a data center right over there. But that entire area has been converted to homes, so that land went for a lot of money. Let's see here. Scroll back up. I missed a couple comments. Dave Miller, watching this delayed, but the lights do not appear to be up yet in the new parking lot area, which could be another reason those spaces have not been used yet. That is true. I did notice that earlier. There was no lights. There's no landscaping in there yet. And landscapers are messy people, so they may not want to open that up yet until that's 100% complete. Okay, so Cloudwalker is pointing out that in Germany with Volkswagen, customers go straight into the factory. They can take a tour. I've seen that on TV on one of those shows where they talk about like car manufacturer and stuff like that. Yeah, Volkswagen is set up for that. They have this really nice looking setup, and you can actually see quite a few things there. But Lucid doesn't have anything like that. They still got to get their factory built. Rob H., good idea. Maybe Lucid is having a secret buy one, get one free Dream Edition. That explains the extra cars. Well, if I had known that, I would have gotten 2. And Peter Kim, GM's Proving Grounds in Yuma. But they used to be literally 5, 6 miles from me. Yeah, they had the double fences and they had security patrolling all the time because they didn't want people looking over, taking pictures. I wish I had my drone back then, but it was right at the edge of an airport, so you wouldn't be able to fly there either. Let's see. 4Q says Ford bought one. Ford bought one, a Dream Edition. That there was a Lucid Air spotted at a Ford facility. See, that would surprise me that they would go out there and buy one, be one of the first reservation holders, because they probably wouldn't have been nervous about it when it was first put out there. Any news on the SUV? Has anybody seen the prototype yet? Just the renderings and the concepts that they've put out there, Octavio. They're probably going to have a big announcement and some sort of big to-do about it to get it a little bit more exciting and drum up support. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Alexis, I saw 1DE is in a shopping mall in KSA. Interesting place for it to be. You'd think that they would want to sell something like that. John, let's go Lucid, says we should petition to Lucid letting you fly over a bit closer. Yeah, you can try. You guys want to start that? Go for it. But they're not letting me fly. Just so you know that they offered me what they called exclusive rights to fly over their construction site. And they had an agreement, no money going back and forth. It was just an agreement about how I would fly, when I'd fly, who I would notify to fly, their ability to tell me when I can't fly, all those things like that. And the contract was written so that if I signed it, they could tell me I could never fly. And because right now they have no legal right to stop me from flying, maybe a moral right, but that's a different story. But they have no legal right. And if I fly over there, they're going to put a lawsuit on me, which will cost me anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. So it's just a bullying tactic. It's one of the things I do not like about Lucid, is that it's not so much that they're being secretive. I offer to them to protect their intellectual property, but they came back with, I have to tell them the exact time we're flying, the exact day, and if they don't respond to my request to fly, I'm not allowed to fly. And that was it. So that's a lockout contract. It means if I sign it, they could tell me I can't. And then if I do violate that, then they actually have a legal case against me. And I was told by several people familiar with it, do not sign that contract because right now you're 100% legal, including the FAA. The FAA told me I was legal to fly. I just don't want to deal with the lawsuit issue, even though I'd win and there's a good chance I'd get all my money back. It's the time and it's the laying out of the money. It's not worth it. So the bully wins again. But that's enough of me ranting about that. Let's see, Rob says Ford probably wants to do a tear down on the car to figure out some of Lucid's secrets. Yeah, and that's the funny thing. When you have intellectual property that's a car, it's not very hard to get that intellectual property. I'm sure someone could hack into the software also and get their code if they want to. But besides being completely illegal and immoral, it's not something that they should do. Let's see, Peter. So I did the math on meeting 20K this year with 2 shifts working Monday through Friday, 5 vehicles per hour. They are working Saturdays. I'm pretty sure that they are. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that they are. We've been by there on Sundays and there hasn't been people there, but that may have been pre-production since we were there on a Sunday last. But yeah, they've got to make a decent amount of cars. I've been told by MU Sales Contact that they'll deliver DEs before start delivering GTs. That's what I've heard from everybody, is that the DEs are going to be delivered before the GTs, which leaves me confused on why DEs are still getting produced. Have you ever seen a Lucid roll out fresh from the factory? Yes, we have. There's a door not too far from where all the cars are that I call the birthing canal for the Lucid. And we have been filming where we've seen a car just roll on out. It was pretty cool to see it. Brand new car. We also have the drivetrain manufacturing in Phoenix also, I think. The drivetrain manufacturing is also in Casa Grande, and we did a flyover once of it, and it was nothing to see there. Let's see. Nikki Tyne says, U.S. investors have every right to see the factory via your drone. 100% morally correct. Peter, when the stock goes to 100, I'm ordering one. LOL. Sell all your stock and buy a car with it. You won't be able to find vehicles in this quality in a few years. Yeah. All right. Well, we've made it through the video twice, just to keep you guys entertained. For the people that showed up late, we do have 112 likes and we have 119 viewers, which is really close. I really like that. I know we've had people come in and out, but we're going to get ready to wrap it up here. If you guys got any questions, stick them up here real quick. Rob says, do you feel more confident about your Nikola stock or Lucid stock at this time? I like the price point better on the Nikola stock, but I have equal confidence in both of them right now. Now, that being said, the earnings report can suck for either one of them, but I'm not looking at that short term. I'm looking at that long term. I think the longer you hold these stocks for, the more likely you're going to make a lot of money. Especially with the prices down on both Nikola and Lucid, which, by the way, Lucid was up $1 or something, 60 or something today. So that's always good news. Parking lot has way more cars than when I visited through there a couple of weeks ago. Yes, it is getting quite stocked up. So next week I will not be doing a live stream. I'm going to be out of town, so won't be able to get access to the internet. So no live stream next week for Nicola or for Lucid. And for fast charging, we're going to pre-record something and then put it out. Octavio, when are you releasing the Electromechanica video? It's going to be within the next couple of days. We still have some editing to do. I'm going out of town tomorrow night, so I've got to finish the editing before then. I need to do some voiceovers for it. And then it should be sometime after Friday, but I'm just not sure yet. So that's what's going on. We will still be doing the flyovers while I'm out of town. My son Riley will be handling everything. We may or may not have voiceovers. It's going to depend on whether or not I have internet access. And if we do, I might just make a short voiceover saying hello to everybody. And if there's anything notable, super notable, I'll mention it. But like I said, I'll be out of town. Peter says, yep, thank you, Bear. Everyone take care. Go Lucid. All right, so we're going to call it at this point. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because we want you to come back. And real quick, Buffalo Power Washing. How long do you think that concrete pour will take? Weeks, because they're not going to do them. It's not going to be done all at once. They're going to do sections at a time, but it will take a while. They'll do a section, block it off, rebar, everything that they need to do, then move on to another one. So yeah, it's going to take quite a while, but it will not be a single pour. Not a chance. All right. Well, that's just about it, guys. Love being here. Love having you here. Thanks for showing up. We will see you next time we'll be back for the regular videos, but for my next live stream, it might be about a week and a half. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.